Welcome back. In our previous classes, we have seen that the Duke wants to dismiss the court until a learned doctor called Valerio comes. In other words, the Duke is unable to decide the case between Shylock and Antonio. Shylock gives such strong arguments that the Duke is quite bewildered. And this is what the Duke had said: "Upon my power, I may dismiss this court unless Valerio, a learned doctor means lawyer, whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today. I cannot decide this case on my own unless the learned Dr. Valerio comes." And then Salerio says, "My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua." So Salerio says, "My lord, a messenger has come from the learned doctor of Padua, that is Dr. Valerio." And if you remember, Dr. Valerio is a cousin of Portia. Portia had gone to meet Dr. Valerio. Fine. Now, Salerio says, "My lord," the Duke says, "Bring us the letters, call the messenger." And then Bassanio speaks to Antonio. He says, "Good cheer, Antonio. Cheer up, Antonio. What, man? Courage yet. Have courage." Remember, Antonio has given up all hope of living, and he is he has made up his mind that he will not live. Here, once again, I tell you that we see a very, very passive Antonio and a very aggressive Shylock, who stands for his rights. Fine. Bassanio goes on to say, "The Jew, that is Shylock, shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all. Means before thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood." So Shylock would rather, I would rather give Shylock my blood, my bones, my flesh before Shylock dares to even touch you. But Shylock is obdurate. Shylock is quite stubborn, and he will not agree to take Bassanio's flesh and blood and all that. He has no enmity with Bassanio. Anyway, after that, this is what Antonio says. Antonio says, "I am a tainted wether of the flock, meetest for death." In other words, I am a sick ram and I should be slaughtered. When people had herds and flocks of animals, and if one animal fell sick, fell ill, a diseased animal would not have been taken to the doctor, but it would have been slaughtered. If you ask me why, it would be done so that this diseased animal does not infect the others. Fine. "The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground, and so let me." So here Antonio has compared his condition to the sickest animal of the flock and the weakest fruit of the tree that is ready to drop. All right. And "You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph." Bassanio, you have to live, and you have to live because you alone can write my epitaph. Epitaph is something that is written above the grave of the dead man. Remember, this is Antonio's love for Bassanio. He would rather die than give up, than let any harm fall on Bassanio. After that, enter Nerissa dressed as the lawyer's clerk. If you remember, Portia and Nerissa had planned to dress up as men and come to the court of Venice. So here you have Nerissa dressed as the lawyer's clerk. You might ask, okay, let me proceed. The Duke says, "Came you from Padua, from Valerio? Are you from Padua, from Dr. Valerio?" And at that, Nerissa says, "From both, my lord. Valerio greets your grace." Yes, I am from Padua. I represent Dr. Valerio. And after that, Nerissa presents a letter. And at that, Bassanio says, why Bassanio says, why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly? Asking Shylock, why are you sharpening your knife so earnestly, so sincerely, so eagerly? Now, some books even say that these are the words of Gratiano. Fine. And then Shylock says, to cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt day. Who's the bankrupt? Shylock. So I am sharpening my knife to cut a pound of flesh from the bankrupt Antonio. At that, Gratiano says, not on the soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen. There's a pun on the word soul, S-O-L-E, soul, and S-O-U-L, soul. S-O-L-E, soul is the lowest part of your shoe, the sole of the shoe. And S-O-U-L, soul, as you know, is your spirit. So what Gratiano tells Shylock is that you are sharpening the knife not on the sole of your shoe, but on your spirit. Fine. But no metal, no, not the hangman's axe, where half the keenness of thy sharp envy can no praise pierce thee. You are sharpening your knife on the sole of your shoe, but remember, your heart is made of the toughest metal. Yes, even the hangman's axe. A hangman is a person who was required to behead the criminal. Even a hangman's axe doesn't have half the sharpness that is present in your mind. That is half the cruelty that is present in your mind. In other words, Shylock, your heart is made of the hardest metal available, the sharpest metal available. Can no praise pierce thee? Will our prayers not work on you? And after that, Shylock says, no, none that thou hast wit enough to make. No, no prayers. At least not the prayers that you can make. Now, after that, Gratiano says, oh, be thou damned, inexorable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves into trunks of men. This is what Gratiano says. Gratiano says, Shylock, you are a cruel dog. Seeing your cruelty, I feel I should change my opinion from Christianity and believe in the pagan theories of Pythagoras. Pythagoras is a Greek philosopher who believed that after an animal passed away, after an animal died, his soul, the animal's soul, entered into the body of a human being. And the human being who got the soul of the animal was governed by the qualities of the animal. Now, thy courage is a dog-like spirit, governed by a wolf who hanged for human slaughter, even from the gallows, did his felt soul fleet, and whilst thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, infused itself in thee, for thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous. Your spirit must be governed by a wolf that was hanged for slaughtering human beings. The spirit of that wolf must have entered the body of your mother when she was expecting you, and therefore your desires are as greedy, your desires are as wolfish, as selfish as that of a wolf. With that, we come to the end of this video.